Hi everyone. I thought I would check in. It's been a little while since I've posted a video. We survived. We had 2 different storms. About 11 days ago we had a ice storm, and I didn't have power for 4 days. People in the county didn't have power for 4 and 5 and 6 days. And then that got better. I went to work a couple days, and then we had that Arctic blast move through. This is my first year for having chickens in the wintertime. And if you see that summer olive egger right there, the comb. Everybody survived, thank goodness. 2 dogs, a cat, 1 rabbit, the quail and the chickens, everybody survived. But the chickens decided to molt right when that storm started. And so I have some scraggly looking chickens. I have some with a little bit of frostbite on their comb. This summer. I finally figured out that these ones that look like summers, I have 1 summer and 3 of them lay olive colored eggs. So bless their little halfway naked hearts. So yeah, they're looking really ratty. I've tried to give them extra protein, both for the warmth and because of their molting. I don't know. You can see that one's comb. So a little bit of frostbite on the combs. Poor things. But everybody survived, so I'm glad about that. Learned a few things. I already knew I had too many chickens in this coop. They're pecking each other some because they're bored. So like the Wyandottes and these summers get pecked by the other ones. So they got little bald spots on their back. The clips I use to keep the raccoons and things out of the nest box and the to hold the door shut, they freeze. And it's real hard to get in and out. So I'll have to try to figure something out before the next big storms or winter. And they're so angry because, bless their hearts, I haven't let them out to free range. So they're a little annoyed with me. But they did okay. We did okay. So during this storm, I brought the rabbit down to the front door by the deck. I have 1 rabbit left. The other 2 went to freezer camp. I bought them for breeding from somebody going out of the breeding business, and in the spring, early summer, I can't remember when, and I could never get them to breed. So I think the 2 older ones, this is the buck. I think the buck was past his prime. The older female didn't even want to try, and the younger female, she was kind of a grouchy young thing. So anyway, so I didn't get him to freezer camp before the second storm. And the rabbit hutch is up there. But during the Arctic blast storm, the wind was so strong it almost blew me off my feet. I was scared the rabbit hutch would blow over. I was scared the shed would blow over. And it was just so cold and windy and miserable. So I brought him down here to the deck. And he survived, yay, with no ill effects. And then the quail, of course, quail do great in the cold, so no problems with the quail. But I'm behind in cleaning their poop trays out. I'm way behind in everything. So quails do great in the cold. It was just so bitter cold that I had to bring fresh water bottles or bowls out. The water I would bring out would freeze in like an hour. It was terrible. So I'm glad I didn't have work. We're on vacation, Christmas break for the kids. So, yeah, I was out here every couple hours bringing water because replacing what had frozen. So all the animals, I kept everybody alive. I'm glad about that. During the second storm, it was so bitterly cold that my water froze. I didn't have water for, I guess, 3 days. So So this is my crawl space. I ended up with a pretty good crawl space because it's on such a big hill. It's tall enough in this area, it's tall enough for me to stand up along the edges where it's dug out, but not tall enough in the middle. So at some point I'd like to make a little root cellar down here. But so my furnace is clear down at that end. I can't see it. I already had heat tape on my pipes, but my pipes something still froze, and I didn't have water for 3 days, I guess it was. I put the chicken heat lamp down here to try to help. I ran my furnace more than I normally would. Usually when I'm home I just run the wood stove, but I ran the furnace to try to get it warmer down here, but it was so bitterly cold. So something happened that my water pressure tank lost pressure. And so during this time I've learned a little bit about water pressure tanks. So when I checked the pressure, I drained it and checked the pressure up there like you do with the tire pressure gauge. I still had pressure, but at the gauge down here it went to 0. So I don't know if the water was frozen outside and there was no water getting to the tank. I don't know if the water was frozen in the pipes. I don't know. But I did a little studying and I came down here and I drained the water. I checked the pressure up here at the top. I checked the pressure and then I closed it back up. Oh, and for a period of time the switches, the connectors weren't connecting. And I can't explain it better than that because I don't know what I'm talking about. But after I drained it and checked the pressure, then the switch, the connectors connected, and then it filled with water and started pumping water in the house again. So I'm going to have to, one of the things on my to-do list is figure out how to get heat down here for winters, for weather like that. And don't worry, that lamp is hanging farther away from the insulation than it looks. I just realized in the camera it looks like I'm about to start a fire, but that is hanging lower than it looks like. I don't know how to have heat down here because I'm very scared of house fires. Ooh, stand up. I'm very scared of house fires, so I'm not quite sure how to get a heater down here that's not going to scare me about starting a fire. But that is on my to-do list. But I'm very proud of myself. I tinkered around enough to get water again. So it's finally warm enough that my feet are breaking through the crust of the ice. I've posted some pictures on Instagram of how icy the road was, how frozen the road was. So in preparation, in case it didn't get warm enough for the ice to melt, I've been bringing my ash from the wood stove up here because I've heard it helps melt. Oh, look at that, it does. Maybe. Or did it just make a mess? I've been bringing my wood ash up here to help so I can get a grip when I decide to drive out of here. Yep. That was very helpful. It's much mushier where the wood ash is. So people have been in and out of here. So the road's getting damp enough that it's kind of turned into slush instead of just pure ice. So today, I love the view. Today I should have been busting my butt on organizing, washing dishes, washing laundry. I did a little bit, but not much. I should have been doing all that, but I've been pretty lazy. I think these 2 storms back to back wore me out. So I've been just mostly laying around, puttering around. Tomorrow I will probably go to kind of a larger, I can't call it a city because I used to live near Baltimore, but a larger town. I guess it's a city. I might go to a yarn store. I might go to Costco, stock up. I might do some of that since I'm still on vacation. So I might do that tomorrow. Yeah. So I hope you've all done well in the snow and ice and storms and cold. I am very happy it's done. I did good. I had no complaints. I did good. Going without electricity, I was prepared. Going without water, I wasn't as prepared. But yeah, it's okay. So I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to check in because I knew it had been a while since I put up a video, and I didn't want anyone to worry. Although if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a couple pictures up, so you knew I was alive. But yeah, I'm so glad that storm's over. So pretty. I love the ridges here. So beautiful. So stay safe. I'll see ya.